everybody, welcome back. Big show for you here today. I found this Friday Review research study really fascinating. And every time I do a Friday Review, when I find a particular research study that I think everybody should know about, and I want them to dive deeper on it, I'll do a whole show. This one was important enough because I don't do it all that often, that there was a breakthrough called the Predicting Risk of Cardiovascular Disease Events Risk Calculator. That's a mouthful, right? So luckily they nicknamed it Prevent, right? Or they probably started with Prevent and then came up with some wild words to be able to figure it out. But it is remarkable, truly remarkable. And here's why. Typically you would have to go in and have a arterial-based scan. They would actually look at calcium buildup in your arteries. I'm going to explain all this in just a moment. And it's not a big deal, but it's a procedure. And you have to make the time, you've got to pay for it, insurance, all of those things. There is now a calculator that they've proven. This is literally, here's the quote. A new risk calculator accurately identified participants who had calcium buildup in their heart arteries and those who had a higher risk of heart attack risk in an analysis of 7,000 adults in New York City referred for heart disease screening. All right, so they took a bunch of people who were at risk and they actually looked at their calcium buildup in their arteries. I'm going to go through this again in just 1 second. And then they used this new risk calculator against it, and they found it to be nearly identical. So now all of us at home, you can do this for your parents, your grandparents, your spouse, all your coworkers, be that person. That you should be that person for free. You can do this literally for free, and it's as accurate as the previous calcium risk assessment. I mean, I find this to be remarkable. And it looks at both 10-year and 30-year risk factors. I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to give you all of them in just a second. So let's dive into it. The Prevent Risk Calculator, released by the American Heart Association in 2023, but the study was just finished, by the way, about 6 weeks ago now. So I brought it to you like 2 weeks after it came out. So about 6 weeks ago. So this is really brand new. Started a couple of years back. All right. So it can now estimate the 10 and 30-year risk for heart attack, stroke, heart failure, or all three in adults as young as 30 years old. Pretty phenomenal. Prevent factors in age looks at age, blood pressure, cholesterol, body mass index, type 2 diabetes risk, social determinants. I'm going to go through those with you in just a moment because I'm actually going to give you the link so that you can follow along, plug it in. It might take 10 seconds. Honestly, like literally might take 10 seconds. All right. One tool for screening heart health is coronary computed tomography angiography, CCTA, a non-invasive imaging test that visualizes plaque buildup in the heart's arteries. From the CCTA, patients are given a coronary artery calcium score. So typically we just call it the calcium score. What's your calcium score, right? Lower the better, which helps to inform decisions about heart disease prevention and treatment, including when it may be appropriate to prescribe cholesterol-lowering medications. I'm reading their recommendations, not mine, okay? In this study, researchers investigated whether the Prevent score matched the level of calcium buildup according to the CAC score. We'll call it calcium score. In addition, they used the Prevent risk assessment and coronary artery calcium scores separately and in combination to predict future heart attack risk and assess the accuracy of each with participants who had a heart attack during the follow-up period. They reviewed electronic health records for nearly 7,000 adults who had done the CCTA screening at NYU Langone, I apologize if that's not how you pronounce it, Health in New York City between 2010 and 2024, so 14 years. The analysis found that for all participants, the Prevent tool risk of a heart attack was low. So less than 5% for 43.6% of patients, mildly elevated 5 to 7.5% for 15.8% of participants, moderately increased 7.5 to 20% for 34.4%, and high for more than 20% for 6.2% of the study. Prevent scores were directly correlated. So you might say like, oh, that's not that great. No, Prevent scores, the risk calculator, the scores were directly correlated with calcium scores, meaning those who had high Prevent scores indicating a higher risk of a heart attack matched the group who had the calcium score done. So it was basically a 1-for-1 is what they were saying. Researchers then added the calcium scores to the prevent tool to calculate future risk for a heart attack, and together they more accurately identified the participants who were at higher risk who had a heart attack during the follow-up period. All right, so it goes on to say, big breakthrough in the area. Amazing. We were going to use this with all of our patients. And now using AI, don't be surprised if your doctor's office actually takes your blood work and they take your blood pressure, they automatically push it through the prevent risk calculator and they give you your risk score. I expect and hope that all PCPs will do that. I don't know if they will, but I certainly hope that they do. And I also want to note that I am not saying not to have a calcium score done. Not saying that at all, right? But what I'm saying is everyone for free right now can use this risk factor. All right, so let's head on over to the calculator. You can grab the calculator because it's a long link just by going to stephencabral.com/3443, stephencabral.com/3443. That's it. Once you head on over there, you will get a link to the calculator. It's free. There's no opt-in, none of that fun stuff. I'll also link up to this study if you're someone that likes to use or likes to go into the studies. There's technically two calculators. The preferred one is the American Heart Association's directly on their website, so I'm going to give you that. There's another one it's called mdcalc.com. So I'm going to give you, I ran both of them myself, and I'll share with you exactly what they are. So basically, it just asks you how old you are, your total cholesterol, your HDL cholesterol. So total cholesterol, maybe it's 180, maybe it's 240. You'll just pop that number in. Then you'll put in your HDL. Then you'll put in your systolic blood pressure. So when you take your blood pressure, and again, you can take your blood pressure right at home. I recommend everybody has a blood pressure cuff at home. Just go to stephencabral.com/resources. You'll see the favorite blood pressure that we use in my family and in my practice. You just put in the top score, right? The top number. So let's say your blood pressure is 120/80. You put in 120. All right. So the top number is systolic. The bottom number is diastolic. It asks for the top number. It asks for your BMI. If you don't have a BMI calculator, we have a BMI calculator. So you can always ask at cabralsupportgroup.com or maybe just go to assessments at Stephen Cabral. You'll find it on our website as well. You can always just type into Google Stephen Cabral body mass index calculator and you'll find it as well. So whatever works for you. And then there's a couple that you need from your blood work. So your cholesterol I just spoke about, total cholesterol, your HDL, right? So that's what we consider, putting this in air quotes, of course, good cholesterol, right? High density lipoprotein. And then EGFR, you're going to find that on your blood work. It's always run on standard blood work. So you're going to be able to look at that for overall health, kidney function, etc. And then it's just going to ask you, do you have diabetes? Yes or no? Do you smoke? Yes or no? Are you taking blood pressure medication? Yes or no? Are you taking a statin or lipid, cholesterol lowering medication? Yes or no? Then it will ask you a couple more, but you may or may not have these, and that's okay if you don't. It's going to ask you for your UACR. So that's going to look at basically chronic kidney disease. Okay. If you don't have it, just press no. If you have your hemoglobin A1C, again, all blood work is going to run hemoglobin A1C because it's looking for diabetes, type 2 diabetes, okay? And so if you have the number, you press yes, and you type it in. Like I have mine, I just typed it right in. And then you can type in your zip code, yes or no. If you don't want to put it in, you don't have to. It essentially looks at socioeconomic, your availability to life-saving treatments, all of these things. And it does matter. It's unfortunate, but it does matter where you live. Now, you can live anywhere in the world, right? If you're following healthy principles, you're good. But for individuals that are following the standard American diet, unfortunately, you're going to need more medical care and a lot more follow-up. All right, so that's that. So now let's look at the risks. So I put in all my numbers. All of my numbers are well within healthy range for all of the things. The only thing that's on the higher side, honestly, is my BMI. Even though I stay fairly lean, I have a decent amount of muscle for my height. And so it always puts me at the high end of BMI, but that's okay. It is what it is. And so it says my 10-year risk for cardiovascular disease, or basically a heart attack, is 3%. All right. So cardiovascular disease, it's 1.5% when I look for greatest risk factors, and for heart failure, it's 1.6%. My 30-year risk is 12.2. And then I started playing around with it because my cholesterol is good, my HDL is good, my blood pressure is good. So I'm like, all right, like my EGFR is good. So I was like, what if my BMI was just a 20, right? What if it was on the lower end? It calculated it, and it was let's see if it changes at all. Minor change. So basically, when you get into your later 40s like I am, you're always going to have about that 10% risk. So don't be surprised if you can't really sure, I have a 1 in 10 chance 30 years from now. Okay, well, I'm in my late 70s at that time. Probably makes sense. But for right now, doing really well. So don't think that you can get it to 0 for your 30 year. Again, if you're in your, I'm saying later 40s like myself. All right, so now if I go over to the MedCalc, because I wanted to do both for you, I type in the same exact numbers and I got a 10.61. So slight variation in how they look at it and calculate it, but really within, what would that be? 10, 15%. So what you're looking for, obviously, the lower, the better. And for me, I like to see this number. And now I know, though, without ever having to go back to this calculator ever again, what am I really looking for? What are they looking for heart disease risk? And again, this is over 7,000 patients over 14 years. They're looking at total cholesterol. They're looking at HDL. I know people tell you that cholesterol doesn't matter. It does to a degree. It honestly does. If you're doing a lot of the other things right, then you're good. You're good. But total cholesterol and elevated LDL can be a factor for inflammation in the body and other things, which I'm not going to get into today. I'll get into that in future shows as well. So you're looking at total cholesterol. You're looking at HDL, which is your cholesterol to HDL ratio. By the way, I've talked about that in the past. That's important. You want that to really be less than a 3.5 or 3 to 1. That's really what you're looking for. So if total cholesterol is 180 and your HDL is 60, you're at a 3 to 1, right? So that's part of what this is taken in, because that's well known with cardiologists that that's a great number to look at. All right, systolic blood pressure, you want it lower. Ideally, it's around 110. So you just want your higher blood pressure number lower. You do that right at home. Hemoglobin A1C, you ideally want that 5.4 or so or less. That would be a great marker, a great number. And then I think, what did it look at? EGFR. Again, if healthy people, we don't see that elevated. Keep those kidneys strong and healthy. The more blood pressure medication on, the worse your kidneys are. That's the truth. So that's why we try to help people as much as we can with high blood pressure. Get off those medications. Now, of course, I can't give medical advice, medical treatments, medical cures, medical diagnosis. Bring your blood pressure down naturally. And then, of course, you can work with your doctor to wean off of those. Don't smoke. Again, these are some bigger things, but that's it. Those are the main things that you're looking at. And then, of course, I talk about weight loss. Why do I talk about weight loss on Wednesdays? Well, literally, because it is one of the number one things that you can do to improve your health span and your lifespan. So if people want to get upset that I'm talking about weight loss, I get it, but I'm never going to stop. I will never stop. And the reason is that it's almost the number one thing that you can do in order to improve your overall health if you're 30 plus pounds above your ideal weight. I'm not talking about people who are looking to lose the last 5 or 10 pounds and get 6-pack abs. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about overall health. How do you reduce cancer? How do you reduce heart disease? How do you reduce high blood pressure? How do you reduce stroke and all of the causes of mortality? Get to a healthy weight. It's so important. And again, I'm not putting anybody down and I'm not being condescending. And I know that it's not easy for every single person. I totally get that, but it's a worthwhile goal. And that's what I want to help people with as well. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. As always, if it was, do share the show with anyone you believe it can serve. I'm going to link up both calculators, but use the American Heart one. That's the one that I recommend. I'll link them both up at stephencabral.com/3443. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing day. I'll talk with you tomorrow on a brand new Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.